All right, all right. Okay. Sorry I'm late. I know. I had to I had to do things. I had to grab a beer, I had to take a piss, I had to talk to my son. We're looking at Discord and Twitter and all kinds of things before the chat. There's actually going to be some fairly interesting information gone over tonight. But yeah, welcome to it. This is Late Night with Ehon, the greatest show on all of the internet. I hope everyone out there is doing well tonight. Got a couple of links out there. Not everyone has joined yet. I think Jolly's coming. I'm trying to get Matt in here. He said he would join the chat earlier, but now that the chat's here, there's no Matt. Go figure. But how you doing? How's it going, Angry? Angry's here, as always.
I am here. It is it's going.
Nice. Nice. Everyone's like, late, you're late. Grumpy Bear says I'm late. I'm sorry, Grumpy. I don't know, man. What's been going on with everybody out there? I've been kind of busy at work and bullshit. I was super fucking tired earlier today. I took a big-ass nap this afternoon to kind of recover from this week because reasons. But Chili Bean says my girlfriend is late.
Run!
Oh, Chili Bean won a real fight? You got in a fight today? I won a fist fight tonight, he says. That's crazy.
Well, congrats. I think.
It's been a while since I've been in a fight. Because the older I get, if I get to a point where I'm like ready to fight somebody, they tend to back down. I don't know why. Maybe just like I get that old man pissed off look in my eye or whatever, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're older than me, but I'm in the same boat where I'm just like, I just don't feel like it anymore. So if I'm going to fight you, like, it's just not going to be well.
I don't know. Like, when I was, like, 18, 19, 20, like, I don't know. Like, fights would happen a lot more easily because I was willing to get into them. But now it's like I'm all old. Like, if I get in a fight, I might hurt my knee, you know? So, like,
Yep.
I don't want to get in a fight. But I will if I have to. I'm not quite to that point where, like, I can't get in a fight because I would just lose. Like, that's, like, old. You gotta be, like, 70 or 80 for that. So I've got a good 30 years of fighting left in me. 30 years of fighting! I wonder if I can play that song and not get in trouble. I really like that song.
I don't know.
I'll play this part of it.
This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They give you the cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition.
That's all I'm going to give you. You guys need to look up High Res and Jimmy Levy. This is a war. I've listened to it like 50 times since I heard it the other day. And it gives me goddamn goosebumps, man. It gives me goddamn goosebumps, and I fucking love it. Turns into a rap song, too, if you like rap. I don't know. I like rap. Some rap. If it's good rap. Hip-hop, that kind of thing. Chili Bean says, the guy made my mom J convertible. It's been, what? And it's been brewing. That makes no sense.
I had a stroke listening to that.
I tried to read it. It didn't work. He was making your mom feel uncomfortable, and it's been brewing. Maybe that's what he meant.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Okay. Yep, that's exactly what he said. Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta punch a motherfucker in the mouth.
Sometimes that's what they need.
Sometimes that's the only fucking answer. Like, people who say, like, violence is never the answer. Well, no.
No.
Violence is sometimes the answer. There comes a time for violence. Everything has a time, as they say in the Judeo-Christian religions. A time for everything, including violence, unfortunately. Or fortunately sometimes, because, you know. It's hard to tell if people are drunk or naturally illiterate sometimes. You read that sentence as he wrote it and tell me if I'm drunk or illiterate. Oh, you're talking about him. Maybe that's what it is. I thought that was a fucking low blow on me for not being able to read a fucking... I don't know what kind of sentence that was. Like a stroke sentence? Righteous anger. Don't forget, the world shall be inherited by those who know how to use a sword but keep it sheathed. And what is the 21st century version of a sword? Or a dagger? A gun. That's right. Let on Steel's grandma died. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
Hopefully, I don't know, like, when someone dies in the family, it can be like a tragedy, which death always is, or it can be a catastrophe, like the family's fighting over shit and things are in disarray because that person's gone, and like all kinds of negative things and stuff like that. I hope it was just a tragedy and not a catastrophe. And I'm sorry to hear that. Daniel says, life is like a helicopter. I don't know how to fly a helicopter.
I just heard it in his voice.
Well, the best part of that was I started reading it before I finished it, so like reading it aloud. You know,
Yeah.
you read it in your head and then you read it aloud. No, I read it aloud without reading it in my head.
Although that actually seems more, a very coherent Joe Biden type statement.
Paul B says, there is a time and a place for violence, and when you wake up and stop bleeding, you will know when that time was. Are you implying the time was yesterday? I might agree with that. I think it's too late, man. It's too late. The crash is coming. It's inevitable. Things have gotten to the point where I don't know how you can turn it around. I don't know. Like, you would need a miracle from God to come down and turn this shit around at this point. And I don't see God showing up quite yet. like things got to get a little worse first. Let on Steel says, just a tragedy. Thank goodness everyone is close and civilized, and everyone thank you for yours and Angry's condolences. And no worries, man.
Yeah.
I've been through it a couple times recently. I mean, my sister just died, like, it was not even like 2 years ago, something like that. And then my dad died earlier this year, so. But as bad as that sounds, I wasn't very close with my dad, so it's not as bad as it sounds, I guess. Because people hear that and they think of their relationship with their father and how broken up and shitty their life would be if their father was suddenly gone. And to you, I say, I am jealous because you have a good father.
Still sucks, though. You have to go through it.
Night Strike said he will be on later, so we should be good.
Yeah, but he just wants to sit on the sidelines instead of give us. I mean, he's forsaken all of us, you know, so he's not going to give us any favors or present us any miracles anytime soon.
Sissy Dream says, I went to BJ's Warehouse Club today. No Charmin, Kleenex, or other brand name paper goods. The only is the supply chain still thing shortage? Wait.
Is the supply chain thing starting? Question mark.
Thank you. It's small and I'm not as close to the screen as I should be. Supermarkets still have them, but not big box stores. I don't know, man. I've fucking stocked up on toilet paper and paper towels and all that. I've got like a year's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I think the supply chain thing is, I mean, it's already started. I think it just depends on where you're at. I think it's going to come in waves. You know, like, I've seen stuff that hasn't been on the shelves for over a month now, and now I'm starting to see some of it trickle in, but then other stuff disappear. So I think it's just, there's a limited supply, and it's kind of whoever is first in line, you know, gets their shit. So it might just be that BJ's isn't in line right now, and maybe the next shipment that comes in, they are in line. Like, who knows? I don't know.
Well, hello.
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Oh, shit. And we got a Jolly now. It's a full house almost. He said he had to finish cooking.
Oh, okay.
I was eating dinner.
What time is it where you're at?
It's 10:15.
You're cooking dinner at 10:15?
Yeah.
You're going to get fat when you get older because you eat too late at night. You're not supposed to eat right before, you know.
You can. That's.
Or is that one of those myths?
It's a myth.
I feel like that more has to do with, like, if you do that regularly, you probably have a very poor schedule and a poor, you know.
And a poor diet. That's typically where that myth comes from. It's because typically people don't eat healthy stuff before bed. They eat, like, ice cream or cookies or something like that. Jolly eats, you know, a thing of rice with some soy sauce or noodles or whatever the fuck weird shit Jolly is always cooking.
I am eating noodles right now. I am eating
see?
noodles.
Everyone probably thought I was trying to be racist, but no. Like,
it's only racist if you're wrong.
Jolly sticks to his traditional foods.
Do you ever try like those fancy ramen noodles, the ones that aren't ramen but cost more?
Yeah, I've gotten them a few times. They're pretty good, but they're not worth it for what they are.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I got this package of, they're basically ramen noodles, but it was like, #1 rice noodle in all of Taiwan. Right? And so I was like, oh man, the Taiwanese can't be wrong. I'm going to get that shit. It was good. It was fine, but it wasn't any better than ramen noodles, in my opinion.
Like, would I rather have that over, like, some top ramen? Yes. But also it's like $3. And so at that point, I could make better ramen.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you've ever bought, like, the just ramen noodles from the grocery store, those things are fucking expensive. Like, I've done a couple times to make actual, like, fancy ramen where I, you know, grill the beef separately and put vegetables in, like an egg and shit, like make fancy ramen. And it's like, this is good, but for what you're paying for it, there's such a disparity there.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, that those ramen packets, that's not real ramen noodles. That's like cardboard.
Yeah.
Roy Munson says, I don't know anyone who has a good relationship with their father. I know, like, my niece and nephew, like, my brother-in-law's a good dude. Like, there's Jolly, doesn't hate his dad, I don't think.
Like, all three.
No, I mean, he's here in chats several times a week with his dad.
No, I mean, it's your dad-pa, your grandpa dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my relationship with my dad, not rubbing faces, is pretty good, so.
I mean, if you're at the strip club, you won't find many girls with a good relationship with their dad, usually.
Typically not, no.
No.
Let on Steel says, I went to the local Costco in my area Wednesday. They were fully stocked on everything. Paper goods were limited to one each, but they were loaded to the floor to ceiling with it all. That's how the Costco I was at, well, that in my area is too. And I was reading Costco actually has their own separate and independent importation. Like they charter their own boats. They bring everything in on their own trucks. Like they have their own system. So a place like Costco, I think, is more well insulated to what's going to be happening to the other places than I don't know, like Target. A Kroger or whatever. You know what I mean? But that being said, if things are choked up at the ports and you can't bring things in, and we don't make anything here anymore in America, and like, not anything, but not as much as we need, not as much as we use, that's a problem. And I think that's a huge opportunity for like American businesses and companies to step in, fill the void, and put a little coin in their pocket in the process. Damn, Tara.
Yeah, it's just got to take long enough for people to realize its value. Because if this goes away, you know, in like another however many months, and they're like, oh, okay, yep, see, it was just a little hiccup. See, we don't really need American manufacturing.
Well, if things go up in price enough, it offsets the cost-benefit analysis. It's like the cost of the good goes up, the cost of transporting the good goes up. All of that stuff added together, if you can come up with a similar thing that you're selling that's of similar quality for a slightly less price than all of that, it just makes it more feasible, you know?
Yeah, the whole reason everything's made in China because it's cheap. But if they got to a point where it's like, okay, you say 3 cents. Okay, who cares? Like,
Sissy Dream says, I think that I've got good food and goods stockpiled. However, are you worried about power outages? It's harder to cook rice and beans without water and power. Should I drop coin on those preps? I've been thinking about it. Like, remember that model of the USA where the power goes out, the power grid goes down, and then they're like, okay, here's the survivability if it's out for a month. Here's the survivability after 6 months. Here's the survivability after a year. And they were saying in that prediction that if the power goes out for 1 full year in the United States, it's like 1 out of 20 people will be left. I don't know if it's that bad, but it could be. I mean, imagine people in the city start eating each other and shit, you know? Like, that gets bad real quick. But if there's no power, like... Plus, how many people are going to freeze or, like, cook to death in their house if they don't have AC or heat, you know?
Well, I mean, that just solved the food shortages problem.
Yeah, then you don't have a supply chain problem anymore, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would definitely be some of it. I think the panic would probably kill more people than anything else. Yeah, but to go back to the question, like, it's always a good idea to stock up on water and food if you can. Like, me, I have enough ways to get water that I can purify around here, so it's not as big of a deal, even though I live in the desert. But power is definitely something to consider. Now, granted, knock on wood, I don't have to worry about that with the time I have left here, but
yeah. And
once I move, I'll be looking at getting a generator.
It's also where you live. That's probably the best move for you. If you live up in the Northwest where it rains all the time and it's wet, I don't think getting a solar generator is a good idea. However, you got a buttload of trees. Have a good fireplace. That'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Whereas you in Arizona, trees are like a myth to you. So
no,
but you got sun for days.
Do you ever watch City Prepper on YouTube? Mm-hmm. He did a video today of like top 10 ways to cook your food if the power goes out. And you know what a rocket stove is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like the best answer because it takes a very little bit of wood fuel or paper fuel or whatever you can burn to put inside of it. It's like it concentrates the heat on like one pan, so you can put like a cast iron skillet on there and cook on it. And it doesn't make that much smoke and shit. Like, that's what he was talking about, was like, what's the OPSEC of this? You know, what's the operational security of this particular activity? And if it's grid down and people are looking for food and you're like cooking bacon on your patio, you know, like you're going to invite a problem. So there's that part of it too. I don't know. I keep thinking about getting out of the city. I don't know how to do it though. Like, you need a place out in the country with some land, and it just seems like,
I mean,
almost unobtainable. Not really, because I mean you can buy the land and have it, but then you got to live on it and figure it out from there. Like fuck, dude.
That aspect's tough. Like if you're looking to buy land now, if you're looking to rent, I have to imagine that there's small towns or something like that that there has to be someone that has a apartment in a small town to rent or house to rent or something like that. But then you're renting again, so it's like, do you want to do that? I don't know.
Chili Bean says my power was out for a month during the 6th. The 6th?
Was the riot at the Capitol so bad it took out your power for a month?
Doesn't Chili Bean live in California? So it took out the power from across the country for a month because the riot was so bad in DC.
Look, they were really trying to paint it real bad, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Just shut off the. Actually, they just shut off the power in California.
That insurrection was way worse than I realized.
Man, you'd think one of these 17 documentaries that have come out would explain that part.
Chris says, is it just me, or is Arizona or a desert location a bad place to be in an apocalypse?
So here's the funny thing, and I've said it before about Arizona. Like where I'm at, technically I am in the desert, but I am in a suburban area, so I have water all around me. I have trees all around me. And if I go 30, maybe 40 minutes east, I'm in mountains where there's streams and lakes and trees galore. Deer, everything. So it all depends on where you live in there. Like if you live down by G-Webs, like down like Tucson area, yeah, like that's gonna be rough because he has the city down there, but outside the city there ain't shit. Like there's not even like suburbs and like
that's where they
basically yeah, it's basically like city and then an hour stretch of desert. Now, granted, I know there are some places down there that I'm sure are wooded and whatnot, but it's tough. So it all depends where you live.
I don't know. The one time I was in Arizona and I actually stopped for gas was when I left Vegas last time. And dude, it was like 120 degrees when I got out of my car. I got out of the car, I shut the door, my lips, like, they felt like they got chapped on the walk from the car to the gas station inside to buy a drink. And then, like, when I was sitting outside the car, like, waiting for it to fill up, like, I was, like, sweating my dick off. It was like, holy fuck, I can't wait to get back in my car and turn the AC on full blast. And then I was thinking, like, how hard is this on your car, right? Like, I've heard that cars from Arizona, like, last forever, though. Maybe the heat's not that bad.
So, yes and no. So, like, they last because we don't have rust or anything we have to worry about down here.
Right, like, the humidity is, like, 0.
Yeah. But they are a lot more taxing on your cooling system. So there's a reason why I've gone through 3 water pumps in
So the car itself is fine. It runs like a champ. However, your AC is just
it's just taxing on your. Now, I luck out because I rarely use my AC. As crazy as that sounds, like I just don't use it that much. But it is a lot more taxing on your cooling system and stuff like that. So that's kind of the downside. But it's only for a couple months out of the year. Like we start to get up into the triple digits usually towards end of May, early June, and then that tapers off usually by the end of September into early October. So what's that, like a 6-month window? And then the rest of the
when I was there, I felt like snow has never touched this place. I'm sure that's not true.
Yeah, well, you're up in like the corner, like you're up in that Vegas, like that Nevada desert corner area. Like if I'm assuming you took the 40, so you went eastward a little bit. If you had gone south, maybe 40 minutes south, you'd be up in, because it's all elevation. That's how our temperatures differentiate. So if you'd gone about 40 minutes south while you were going east, you would have been in Flagstaff. There's ski resorts in Flagstaff. Like,
that sounds like bullshit to me.
I swear to God, there's ski resorts in Flagstaff. Like, people go up there and go skiing. It's weird. It didn't make sense to me when I moved here, and then I saw pictures. I was like, oh yeah, there's fucking snow there every year.
So yeah, here's a map. Here, let me pull it up. Screen share of Arizona. And I was on, it wasn't the 40, I was on the 15.
Okay.
So this is the little piece of Arizona that I stopped in right here somewhere. And oh my god, it was fucking hotter than tits. Utah's beautiful. You guys ever fucking drive across Utah before?
I don't think I've ever been to Utah.
Dude, Utah's a hell of a state. They got some good stuff going for them other than the Mormonism. I mean, when I think about it though, as far as religious people are concerned, if you can get past the trying to convert me all the time, I like Mormons. They're not bad.
They could be worse.
They're very nice people. They all have like a good amount of food in their house, and most of them are gun owners and stuff, and Nut and Fancy's probably related to them. And well, hello there. Speak.
Oh, what's up?
How's it going, man?
Not too shabby.
Do you know who's not living here anymore?
I assume so. There's only one person I can think of.
Yeah, we got... I shouldn't even talk about this online, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck it. Fucking, she was complaining and bitching about all this stuff that she bought for the house that she was in and all this stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That she couldn't get out because she's got a restraining order against her because the dude's still in that house, even though he has no way to pay the rent. But that's neither here nor there. She's not allowed to go there. So she had to, like, call the police so that she could have a meeting with the police there to get her stuff out, and they could only be there for an hour. So, like, a lot of the stuff she can't bring with her, and, like, the lawnmower and stuff like that doesn't fucking, you know, you don't need that in an apartment. There's no point in bringing it. You spent that money on nothing, and it sucks, right? And I was like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. I didn't say that, but I was like, yo, when you left me, we had a bank account with like $10,000 in it that was basically mostly mine that I worked for. And you took all of that money out and put it into a bank account in your name that I couldn't touch. Do you remember that? Because I was going to make a point to her, like, hey, you can put one foot in front of the other, and eventually you look back and look how far you've come. It doesn't matter what was taken from you at one point or whatever. Like, you can fucking use that as fuel and move on and move forward with your life, was my point. And she was like, no, I don't remember that. And I fucking thought I was over that shit. Until I find out that the thing that fucking gave me so much trouble for so long and how many years of fucking financial hardship I went through and how nice it would have been to have that fucking, like, I don't know, cushion or pillow or whatever to land on if things got bad, I could still pay rent. And you don't even remember? Fuck you. So yeah, we got in a fight and she left the next day.
So it was a productive day.
Yeah, I suppose. I was a little upset about it yesterday. Today, I don't give a fuck. Funny how quickly that happened. I don't know if I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck. It's not bothering me. Anyway. So what's going on with you, homie?
Not much. Work, pretty much it. That's all. That and me and my clones watching all kinds of stuff.
Dude, we need to start a motorcycle dealership in your backyard. Can we do that?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, as long as we're only selling a couple here and there, and it's not really a dealership, right?
It's true. It's going to be a couple just parking in my garage.
Well, yeah, but I got to drive them down to you, and then hang out for a half a day, and then fly back, and then do it again, and then fly back, and then you got to sit down there and do your normal shit, and then just make Craigslist posts or whatever, and sell them when you have time.
It's like a 26-hour drive.
Yeah, so I get most of the money, but you get something too. You know, you get paid for your efforts. It is a 26-hour drive. Fuck that. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. On a motorcycle.
Well, what I was thinking would be like, get a trailer, put like 3 bikes on the back of the RAV4, and then drive them down. That way it's 3 bikes and triple the profit rather than 1 bike for the same trip, you know?
Oh, yeah.
More wear and tear on the car, but, you know. 26 hours? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was a place in America I couldn't drive to in less than that.
Oh, yeah, like anywhere east of Louisiana or south of Dallas.
I mean, I could get to Canada in less than 26 hours.
Imagine how long it would take you to get to Miami.
I think, yeah, because I think it took me 34 to 36 hours to go from like Scranton to Phoenix.
It's
It
a hell
alone
of a
takes
drive.
me 24 or 25 hours to go from Phoenix to St. Louis.
So it's 30 hours to. It's an extra 4 hours to get to Miami than to you.
Jesus.
That doesn't sound right.
See, this says 17 hours to you.
Yeah, but I think we've talked about this before. There's no, like, you wouldn't drive that way. The way that it tells you to drive is not a way you would want to drive.
It's 34 hours to Maine. 21 hours to Yankee. 15 hours to Los Angeles. Which was about right. Like, that's right. That 17 and a half? Sounds about right. I don't know. Here, let's see if we can find it. Just kidding. I won't do that to you like you do it to me all the time.
I've shown my neighborhood on there before. Just not giving out any addresses.
Yeah. Like, good luck finding me if you find this. Dude, listen to this song. Just part of it. I won't play it for long enough to get hit.
This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They get it go with the sickness. This is a war. This is a war.
Dude, I get goosebumps when I listen to this song. High Res and Jimmy Levy. This is a war. It's all about like the crazy shit going on, and it's a very conspiratorial, anti-establishment rap song. Oh my god, it's fucking great.
It's funny how the anti-establishment is now either on the right or in the middle. That's now anti-establishment.
Okay, watch this.
What the fuck is that? A fish?
That's a fucking fish in an oven.
That's not just a full fish, that's a fillet of fish in the oven.
Man, I would call a fucking priest and get an exorcist out there if that shit happened. I'm not eating that. I'm sorry.
Dude, and the guy says, I am not eating that thing. Dug a hole in the backyard, say a prayer over it, cover it up. No way I'm eating that thing. Hell no. No way.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. My wife keeps holy water in the house for shit like that.
It keeps going, too. Jumps a little bit more. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe that was it. Is that just like fresh-ass fish that does that? Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Or is that like, if you eat that, you're patient zero for the zombie apocalypse? Like,
Yeah,
you're the
I'm
first
pretty
one
sure.
to turn.
Either
It's
that
one
or
or the
you're gonna
other.
get possessed by a demon or some shit. I don't know which, but
All right, then there's this one. First of all, notice all the blood on the ground already. You see all the blood on the concrete?
mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, this is why Honda doesn't carry a knife. Okay, now watch his hand.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
You see that shit dangling?
Mm-hmm. Now, I see if somebody ever came out with a knife, I would just run.
Yeah, that's why I don't carry a knife, because I'm faster than you. Like,
I'm just going to run. I'm probably going to unholster while I'm running.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
probably true too.
Take my strong hand.
Daniel says that blood was there from the day before. It's a regular occurrence in New York City. Sissy Dream says, if you ever stab a person with a knife, no matter the situation, you are going to jail. That's not true. I accidentally stabbed my friend in the hand with a sai when we were playing Ninja, and I felt the tip of the knife pop through his skin like I was piercing an apple, and I felt the knife touch the hilt of the handle of the knife that he was carrying. And we went to the ER, and he got treatment. No one got arrested.
How old were you?
16?
Well, there's probably your reason.
I mean, we were playing Pirate or whatever. I forget what we were playing. It was something. Oh, shit. Did I miss a super chat? I did. E-Honda, anything special planned for the Gay Frog chat tomorrow? What will it being with it being Halloween? Well, I was going to skip the Gay Frog chat tomorrow because I was going to take the kids with someone to a haunted house tomorrow night, but that isn't going to happen anymore, so we'll probably do the Gay Frog chat tomorrow.
Hey, look, just give us your address, we'll show up, and we'll make it your apartment a haunted house. We won't tell you when it starts, but you know. It'd be great.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that whole situation. I kind of do, and I know how I should feel, but it sucks. It's whatever. That's why boys and girls just never get your hopes up for anything. That way you'll never be disappointed. That's bad advice.
It's accurate advice, though.
Well, that's like saying to someone, don't go into that relationship or whatever because you might get hurt. But the thing is, if you never go into a relationship because you might get hurt, you're going to be hurt eventually because you're not in a relationship, you know? Like, people are meant to be paired up, I think. And some people can live their whole life without having somebody with them, and they can get on just fine. And I don't understand that. Roy Munson says, you don't need a haunted house to scare the kids. Just put a fresh fish fillet in the oven. It's true. Oh, there was something else, too. Oh, this one. The fat communist kid.
So I'm hearing a lot of stories about ICUs filling up in hospitals and hospitals having to make decisions about who gets an ICU bed. That's terrifying enough. But the problem I have is that I've heard that they are maybe not able to give an ICU bed to people having a heart attack or a stroke. Okay. My dad has a heart condition. He has heart disease. He's had 6, 7, maybe even 8 heart attacks. One of them a widowmaker. God willing, he's survived all of them. He is double vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine. He's going to get the booster as soon as it's available. You are telling me my dad's lived in fear for 18 months of this virus, that if he gets it, he could die, just to get the vaccine, hoping that it would be okay now. Now, if he has something wrong with his heart and he has to go to the hospital, he could be turned away because the hospital is dealing with unvaccinated people who are too selfish to get the vaccine. Are you fucking kidding me? How the fuck is this real?
It's not. That's why.
Because that's
Jabba no
made up.
Wonka.
Was there anyone in all of communism that large?
No. Well, no, not
Stalin,
even.
Stalin in his later years.
I don't even know if he was that big.
No, Stalin wasn't that. Dude, anyone that big, they would have fucking eaten them.
No, I think he wore a girdle.
Jolly, there's no girdle holding
It's a very large girdle.
Custom built.
A girdle. Oh God.
I was thinking not even what's his name, Kim, over in North Korea is that large.
No.
I don't think it's. I mean,
I think he's just very, very broad-shouldered. He's actually
haven't-
lost weight.
I haven't seen his this gentleman's dad, but if it's anything like the son, I have a feeling the heart disease isn't just genetic.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd that picture go? That was the best side by side.
Well, it was the thumbnail for a video. To Google weight loss.
I just want it to be bigger. Too big. All right, there you go. So is this him after he lost the weight?
Yeah. I think that photo on the left is more current. Good for Kim.
I mean, this one he looks like he ate his brother or whatever it was that he had killed.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kim Jong Un.
Kim Jong Un.
Isn't it funny how China got so mad over the fucking new Red Dawn movie that they had to change the bad guy in the movie to North Korea? I think it's funny. It's a sign of the times.
You know what I think
is
is funny?
the real power in this country, which is not America, apparently.
You know what I think is real funny? That in the new Dune movie, they race and gender swapped the character Leia Kind, yet they took them out of the poster in China.
Yeah, because they don't like black people in China.
Yeah, they really hate black people.
They're racist.
Yeah.
It's because they've got giant penises. And we all know the stereotype on the Chinese. That's right. They're bad at driving. Oh, wait. Am I not allowed to say these things? This is not funny. Fuck you guys. I hate you. Let's go to the Twitter. I got some Twitter stuff to look at, too.
So I learned a fun fact. I'm watching The Shining. And you know at the end of the movie when Jack Nicholson dies and you see him frozen?
Mm-hmm.
That image of him like frozen with like, you know, the icicles coming out of his nose and everything. And that's a meme template. I have thought that's attributed to the guy from Home Alone this entire time. I didn't quite realize that was Jack Nicholson.
Really?
From The Shining.
Oh my god.
God.
Everyone take a drink. Jolly just realized something that was obvious to everyone for
And
years.
I think I said Jesus Christ disappointedly. So
Bill de Blasio says his Halloween costume is an homage to Captain Kirk, but he's dressed as Spock. This guy says, "Man, I'm sure glad we stole this land. Beautiful." Why do I think that's so funny? I'm going to hell.
Oh God, that video.
What the fuck?
What on earth?
No, don't. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I really hope those are hard plates though, so that the next time they try that, they're gonna be like shattered and it doesn't work.
I'm just going to put this statistic on the screen without saying or reading it and let you guys just absorb that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
That is all. I'm not stating anything. That was Cynthia McKinney, PhD, who's a former member of the House of Representatives of the United States of these America, who, if you don't know, during the post 9/11 fucking craziness was going on, was one of the only people who was adamantly asking questions about what actually happened on 9/11 and standing up to us going to war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Who's no longer in the House? Her, because she was against the fucking people who were doing the shit. I think they paid money to get her out. Well, they paid money so that someone had so much money when they ran against her that they won, is what they did. But still. So there's this guy. Again, I'm not going to read it out loud. I'm just going to put it on the screen and let you absorb the irony. That is all. So we've got President Biden talking about at the G20, leaders representing 80% of the world's GDP, allies and competitors alike, made it clear their support for a strong global minimum tax. This is more than just a tax deal. It's diplomacy reshaping our global economy and delivering for our people. So we want to levy a international global tax. And what is this going to pay for exactly?
Probably global warming or, stupid blue helmets who don't do anything.
Well, most of the money that goes to fight global warming, as it turns out, ends up going to propagandize people into fighting global warming by giving them more money so that they can propagandize more people so that they can. And the weird thing is, these nonprofit organizations, it's such a fucking sham, dude. Not all of them. There are some that are good out there, but some of them, dude, there'll be one dude who's on the board of directors of 5 or 6 different nonprofits who makes, $250,000, $500,000, $2 million, $5 million a year from each of these different appointments. All of them together don't pay out more than 10% of what they take in to actual people who need it or whatever it is that they say that they're trying to help. And 90% of that money goes towards either events or propagandizing or towards those people who get paid who are on the boards of 5 different fucking nonprofits. It's such a fucking racket, dude.
I think we should start a nonprofit.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I'm down.
I'll be on the board.
We need to start 5 nonprofits, and then we'll start, then we'll donate money from one nonprofit to another and use it as a tax write-off and that kind of stuff. You know the things they do.
Yep. It'd be like that guy who's just going to live off of his credit cards forever until he dies.
Dude, that guy's got to figure it out.
One to the next, to the next, to the next.
Because he's got $10 million in credit. You can live on $10 million in your whole life. That guy's got it figured out. Oh, hi, Mark. I love Eva Fry. If you guys don't know who Eva Fry is, he's the Canadian lawyer who likes to talk about American politics, but I like his perspective. He's a good dude. You see the Charlottesville rally people were from what's the name of that group?
Lincoln Project.
Lincoln Project, that's right. Dude, and even the fucking reporting on this going on, I was reading earlier today from some left-wing outlet, they were saying that these people are anti-Trump Republicans and not mentioning Lincoln Project at all. So they're already fucking deflecting and lying about this fucking story in the mainstream media because it makes them look so bad. How did they get caught for this, by the way? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
I forget exactly how they were outed, but I know there are a couple of them specifically. One of the guys was actually the director for the Young Virginia Democrats.
I think it's the guy on the far left.
Was it just that these people were like ID'd? Like people looked at the pictures closely and finally were like, "Well, who are these people?"
Yeah, well, the one's a black dude, so
Well, there's that.
You know, there's all like 7 black Republicans, so you know that narrows
Well,
it down.
I mean, these people are supposedly white nationalists. It doesn't make sense for a black white. It's like that fucking episode of Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle Show.
yeah, Clayton Bixby.
I came up with this joke. Knock knock. Who's there? ATF. ATF who? No, not the World Health Organization, ATF. But because of them, we've been tracking your activities and we know what you have. Open the door so we can shoot your dog. Is that a bad knock knock joke? All right, fine.
No. It'd be funny if you took out the second ATF. So it goes knock knock. Who's there? ATF. Who? No, not the World Health Organization.
Thanks for your fucking literary critique, Jolly.
No problem. I'm here all week.
But I said this: adults should die for children, not the other way around. Does anyone disagree with that? Has anyone in history, historically, has there ever been a culture who disagrees with that? Oh, actually, yes, there is. What about the Aztecs? They'd fucking sacrifice their children for a bountiful corn harvest, but they'd also have like 15 children, so if you sacrifice one, it's no big deal, you know? Oh, Sissy Dreams, and I was going to talk about this too. Do you think Brandon will ever give me $450,000? Did you hear about the fucking $450,000 per person that they're planning on, or that they're talking about giving to anyone who came across the border in 2017 and was separated from their family because of Trump?
Yep.
Dude, all the black people asking for reparations in the United States are fucking pissed.
Are gonna be, yeah. I mean, as much as I don't agree with that, rightfully so, because it's like, one of these things, neither one makes sense, but one of them
There's at least a
marginally
train of
makes
logic.
more sense than the other. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That'd be like saying, okay, Belgium, you need to pay reparations for all the people the arms you chopped off in the 70s and like 60s. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. But all the people who came over in 2015 from like the Sudan because of like freaking war and everything, we'll give you a lot of money. Just like this doesn't seem right.
That's how we got Ilhan Omar. Be careful with that shit. Come over here marrying their brothers and stuff.
Well, chain migration's the thing. You get one person here legally, then I want my brother and my cousin and my uncle and my mom and my sister and her kids and all my family to be here. And then everyone in Mexico is like, I'll have a Coke. Nothing? You guys suck tonight. Fuck you. I got fucking comedy gold. You're just sitting there like a fucking retard on a bump on a log. God damn it.
Man, it's more like 10, like comedy 10 maybe.
I don't
You
know if Kelly got that joke.
insignificant little fuck.
Little fuck.
Daniel says, to be fair, $450K might cover groceries next month.
It might.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
If you have like a wheelbarrow full of hundreds, I think you can trade it for equal weight and like rice in a month. Probably. Oh, yeah, Colostomy Bag has a good point. Abortion itself is valuing an adult's convenience over a child's life.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that should not be. That's another example of that. I mean, you've got the whole, like, jab the kids for the elderly people and the fat people and the comorbidity people or whatever right? Because that's the only ones who actually have a problem with what's going on right now. And yeah, I forgot about the abortions. That's a really good point. Really good point. Thanks, Colostomy. You should change that bag soon.
It's Mr. Bag to you.
Dude, one day I was at work. This is fucking terrible. I was at work, and this guy in a wheelchair was there to, like, enjoy the atmosphere, right? Like, come to my work and do the things that you do at my work and have fun. And he's rolling between tables or something, and his colostomy bag gets caught on, like, the corner of a table and rips open.
Oh, no.
And he didn't know, because he's in a wheelchair and he's just going along, and it's not like you feel the fucking thing tug at you like you would if you were walking. And it spilled out, and he kept going. And it was like, I don't know, 30, 40 yards of poop.
Oh,
A
God.
poop trail that would, and like half the people in the fucking area, like, they were out of there, dude. And I don't blame them. I could barely even be in there. Tara Smith says, "Night, wife needs attention."
Uh-oh.
Is fun.
Enjoy.
She's
I hope you're feeling better, Tara.
Yeah, dude. Tara's going through some shit.
Tara needs to, like, put in at the work and be like, hey, look, I'm taking 3 days. Like, I need a nap.
Well, it's funny. They're like paying these truckers so much money, but they're not. It's not like you have time to spend any of the money if all you're doing is trucking until you, like her friend, like, literally died, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's great for the economy. You just work yourself to death and die without spending the money.
Yeah. Money don't do you no good when you did.
What is enough? We were talking about this before the chat. Like, what is the level at which you say, okay, I've got enough?
Do you mean like an average income every year? Or do you mean like if I had this amount of money in my hand, I'd be set for life?
As in, like, either one. Like, how much money do I need to make a year for it to be enough where I can be comfortable with that? And or how much money would it be total to say that's enough, I don't have to work anymore?
Because
hard.
That's a tough question for me because, like, part of me says, you know, if I won, like, the Powerball or something like that, like, I would just never work. Like, I would just take that money and just go enjoy life or whatever, right? But the other side of me is the type of person that I always need to be doing something. And I don't know that I'd be putting in 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but I honestly don't know if there will ever come a day, like maybe one day when I physically can't do anything anymore. But I honestly don't know if there'll ever be a day that I'm not doing something to make money.
It'd be cool if you won the lottery. Like, I think it would be cool. If I won the lottery, I would buy, like, a big-ass ranch or something. Because, like, there's still work to be done. There's still shit you got to do. But you got money where, you, like, if you don't want to do something, you could just pay someone to do it. You don't give a fuck, right? So you can have, like, the most technologically advanced, badass fucking area ranch thing to live in with the big-ass house that's super nice and the ATVs and the shooting range and everything else you can want. And it's always going to be enough work to keep that up because there's upkeep on the land. You got to mow this area and you got to fix that fence there and this needs to be painted or whatever it is. So there's going to be a never-ending supply of, like, quote, work for you to do, but then you can also do as much, quote, work as you want to do because you can just pay someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Because that kind of solves that problem of, like, most people, not most people, but a lot of people when they win the lottery, they just go out whoring and whatever else, and then, like, the cocaine fucking runs dry when the money runs dry, and then their whole life's in the gutter. But that's because they didn't give themselves a load to bear, a thing to concentrate on, a goal, something to do. And I think...
Yeah, they just went out and partied. And
right. And that happens to a lot of people, dude. They like, buy the big-ass mansion, they buy the car, they wreck it, they buy another one. And then 10 years down the line, their $10 million is just spent. like gone.
Yep.
I heard a statistic once that says something like 90% of all lottery winners are either broke or dead within like 5 to 10 years after their wins.
Yeah.
Well, money's an amplifier, right? So like if you have like a drug problem and you get a bunch of money, does your drug problem suddenly get better? Not usually. I mean, I guess suppose sometimes you could spend some of that money and get some counseling and go spend a week at a fucking nice resort where they can detox you or whatever. And that'd be the smart thing to do. But most people are like, oh my God, think about how much whatever I could get with this and go fucking hog wild. And that's the wrong answer. I find that drugs and alcohol to some extent and weed to some extent, people use them to fill a hole that they have inside of their heart that won't be filled by those things, but kind of numbs the pain of that hole. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah. I mean, that's what I used to do when I would, like, back in 2017 and shit, when I was drinking real heavy, like, all the goddamn time. That's essentially what I was using it for, and it took, getting some shit right in my life to stop doing that. No, I rarely ever drink.
Well, when I drink now, I drink to have fun, right? Like, I'm drinking to have a good time. When I smoke weed or whatever, like, it's to relax. It's not really to, like, sometimes, like, if something's really stressing me out really bad, I still use it like a crutch. But, yeah, it's not like the centerpiece of my life like it was when I was, like, 20.
Yep.
TC says that perfectly explains your alcoholism. Take a drink of that.
It's like the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do.
No, man, I'm drinking to have fun. I don't know. When I used to be an alcoholic, like, I would drink. It got to a point where I'd get off of work and I'd buy a liter of vodka, like a regular size bottle of vodka. And that wouldn't be enough alcohol for the rest of the night. So what I started doing was buying a 175. But the thing is, the 175 isn't enough for 2 nights, but it's enough for like a night and a half, and then I'd have to go out drunk into the world and buy another one. It's like, this is worse. Yeah, you like wake up hungover, and so you take a drink in the morning with your coffee to like get rid of that that little bit of fucking
hangover
feeling,
bit, yeah.
And you just keep going. And then like, oh, I'm at work now. I need another drink because I'm at work. Oh, work's done. Well, now we need a drink because work's done. Like, oh, now I'm home. Got to drink some home drinks. Time to go to bed. Got to get drunker so I can fall asleep. Wake up. Need a drink so I can not feel so bad. Like, it was just a terrible fucking cycle.
Yep.
And I actually, believe it or not, people of the internet, hit a point in my life where I could not do that anymore. Like, financially, physically, spiritually, all of the above. And decided that I wasn't going to do it anymore. Stopped drinking for, it was like 18 months. I didn't have a single drink for 18 months. And then it wasn't till I didn't even care about drinking, and people were going out for drinks and invited me, and there was no good reason for me to say no, that I finally had a drink again. And realized, like, oh, as long as it's just a drink or two, and it's only every now and again, it's not a big deal. But then I started doing this late night with Honda chat.
Sure, blame us.
Mm-hmm. It's always the white people's fault.
Which white people?
You know who I'm talking about.
The Jews? Your lack of response says it was the Jews. Got it. I mean, you can't say it out loud, right? I'm sorry I broke that rule. First rule of Fight Club. Mark Malone would be happy right now. That was just a joke, by the way. I'm joking. That's what we do here. I try anyway. No one laughs at any of my jokes, it seems like. Not tonight.
Well, you know, comedy is subjective or whatnot, as they say.
Yeah, well, you guys are stupid or something. Dalton, Mexico-based U.S. Embassy staffer Brian Jeffrey Raymond, 45, who sexually assaulted at least 24 women over 14 years and took photos and videos of the attacks, was in the CIA, not working for the CIA, was working for the CIA while he sexually assaulted at least 24 women. Did you guys hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Well, there you go. Embassy staffer, rapist, allegedly, Brian Jeffrey Raymond. We got 2 U.S. citizens smuggling 5 illegal immigrants into Del Rio, Texas, streamed live while they were being pursued by Texas PD. Ultimately crashed. The driver had a gun in her lap. The woman who drove to Del Rio from Austin, Texas to smuggle, both arrested and charged.
Why would you live stream yourself smuggling people?
He got me. Hold on. My gun is slipping. Oh, shit. Yes, let me out.
That's what you get when you run from the cops. Although, that's what you get when you run from the cops, but you suck at it, I should say. Have you guys ever perhaps tried to skirt getting pulled over like you didn't see it, and you take the turn real quick and then another turn into a neighborhood and turn off your lights, get out of the bike and get off the bike and go hide somewhere? You ever do that?
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, I did that one time, and I stayed in this neighborhood for like 2 hours because I didn't know how long they were going to be looking for me. And they were looking for me that entire time. I could hear them like going around a couple of times, like, and then finally it was like 2 hours later, I hopped on my bike, and I swear to God, as soon as I got onto the main road, I saw the same cop. But he wasn't sure if it was me, and I wasn't sure if it was him, and he couldn't just pull me over 2 hours later because I happened to be on the same color bike. So... Sorry, buddy.
No, you're not. And you shouldn't be.
Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you
Every time.
It's still funny.
It's so funny because immediately after they say F. Joe Biden, it's let's go, Brandon. Had she said it 3 seconds earlier, she would have been fine.
And then you could see his face like, oh, yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah. Up to 12,000 Air Force personnel have rejected orders to get fully vaccinated against the coronavirus, despite a Pentagon mandate, and officials say it's too late for them to do so by Tuesday deadline. That's great when China's gearing up for war. We're just firing 12,000 people out of the Air Force. Did you guys know that Halloween started off as, well, I don't know if it started off, but at least it was at one point a Christian holiday where they remember all dead saints, both known and unknown, who made it to heaven, and it was your day of remembrance for those who died, who were saints?
I thought it started off as a pagan Halloween.
I didn't say started off. I corrected myself before I finished that. It was at one time, anyway, that.
So at one point in time, much like they did with Christmas, Christians co-opted a fucking day for their own shit.
Yeah, because I've always laughed at that, like, you know, and then, you know, you see like the manger scenes and everything. It's like it's snowing. It's like the historians believe he's actually born in like March.
They say he was born during harvest season.
Yeah, so like he would not have been born for like several months different.
Would not have been in the middle of fucking December.
It's true. They did say Kavanaugh had anger issues because it bothered him to be called a drunken gang rapist.
Oh yeah. He should be fine with that. Why would you get upset about that? I don't know.
There's no reason to get upset about that.
No.
Yeah, of course, ma'am. It's Sir.
Iraq veteran 8888 is a grandpa?
Yeah.
Says, I'm
Yeah.
leaving a message here for my grandson who just entered the world yesterday. I promise the world you'll inherit will be better than what it was today. So help me God.
Yeah,
That
he has
sounds
he has a stepson.
Oh,
very
is that what it is?
creamy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like his wife, I think, was either like previously married or had a kid or whatever.
Okay. Grandpa 8888. Got it.
He will make sure that the world inherited by the grandchildren is much better, Joe.
How old is his fucking son?
Like 20, 21, somewhere in there.
What are you doing, Jolly? You don't have any kids.
He hasn't
Yeah.
found a big booty, goth chick yet that tickled his fancy.
You gotta lick it before you stick it, Jolly.
Yep. Just like in the simulations.
Here, look at this picture. We've got Ted Turner, Bill Gates Sr., George Soros, Tom Brokaw, Anthony Fauci, all together. Is ammo ever going to be cheap again?
No.
Never again.
So I got to win the lottery so I can shoot my guns? Got it.
Pretty much. Now, it may go back down some if Palmetto actually pulls off that steel case production.
No, but they're going to sell it at whatever the current price is because that's the price point that it makes sense for them to set up all the tooling and stuff, right? Like, they're not even going to be able to sell it much cheaper than that because that's how much it's going to cost them to do all that shit. And it will be years until all that equipment's paid down to the point where, like, they can reduce the cost and still remain profitable. Like, that's the difference of, like, cheap surplus Soviet steel case fucking bullshit that no one will ever use because they made so much of it under the Soviet system that they can just ship it over here basically for a nominal fee plus the price of shipping. You can have it in your store to sell to people. So yeah, you can sell it at fucking pretty cheap. Like, remember when 7.62 54R was like 440 rounds was like $100?
Oh yeah.
And you could buy a Mosin and 440 rounds for like literally $200-300, somewhere in there. I wish I would have bought a case of Mosins when you could buy a case of Mosins. Does anyone still sell cases of Mosins? Like,
I haven't seen any in a long
unopened
time.
cases? No, because it's way more profitable for them to open it up and sell them. Although I think the Mosin craze is mostly over because they've gotten to that price point where it no longer makes sense. Like, it used to be like,
Yeah.
you don't have a deer rifle, you can buy a Mosin, fucking drill and tap the top of it, put a scope on it, and you got a deer rifle. And it was cheaper to do that than it was to go buy like a Savage or something, you know? Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. Why are you guys so quiet tonight? See what I mean?
Don't got a lot to talk about.
David Spade at the prom.
Matt, I feel like you told my brother-in-law what to buy for Christmas, like what he wants.
What?
He wants a Yeti Rambler that has the Whataburger logo on it.
A Yeti Rambler? What's that? I mean, I know what a Yeti is. What's the Rambler? I don't.
Like the 20-ounce like coffee cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those
But it's
really
one
fucking
that's got-
expensive ones that don't work any better than the one you can buy at Walmart.
Like this one?
Yeah, well, it's the one that's straight wall. Like the like that pink one. Yeah, like that. But it's orange and has a Whataburger logo on it. I don't know why he wants it.
How much longer does your coffee stay hot in one of those? Like, the lid is, there's no lid on it. You're just drinking it like a normal cup of coffee. How
No,
much
there's a
longer
lid.
does the walls keep the fucking heat in?
There's a lid to it.
Your lid. Well, I don't like drinking things with lids because then it fucks up and you spill on your fucking cheek. I got a beard. You don't ever
spill
know.
it on your...
Because I have man hair on my face, Jolly. Things happen. That's why I don't like eating without going to the bathroom afterwards, because you never know if you have like some mayonnaise or ketchup like hanging off of you and you can't even feel it.
Like, wipe your face.
Yeah, but then
How
you're
do you-
wiping mayonnaise into your skin under your beard. Like, that's gross too. I'll wash my face.
No, you save it for later. That way you just get to like lick your mustache and it's just like, tasty.
To answer your question about tumblers, Honda, it depends on if they're actually insulated or not. When I used for Tupperware, they actually sold one. It was supposed to stay either hot or cold for 12 hours.
With the lid on.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I hate that bitch. Let's go, Trent. I'm not saying they lied for an advantage. A 3-person family in Hong Kong squeezed into this tiny 40 square foot box apartment. Oh, it's one of these things where you never see the picture of the thing that you actually want to see. All right, you win this time, Internet. Sissy Dream says, "How do we avenge the Beagles?" Did you guys hear the Beagle story?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is quite sad.
Have you seen the pictures of the Beagles?
Yep.
Yeah, in the box. Yep.
It's fucked up.
Did you hear about the second story after that with the monkeys?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they were apparently like slicing their heads open and like dousing them with like liquid chemicals and stuff like that to eventually kill them, like various toxins and stuff.
Why? Like, here's the thing. I am fine if it's like, hey, we've got a new drug that'll cure cancer. We got to test run it on the monkeys first. Okay, it's a worthy cause. Like, but that's just, ugh.
They were just like feeding their faces to like some kind of fly to see how long it would take the
Sandfly.
flies to kill them.
Yeah. And they clipped their vocal cords so that they couldn't, howl.
Scream. Yeah.
Because they were tired of hearing them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Every single one of those people that's involved in that needs the exact same thing to happen to them.
I was just thinking that same thing. Like, we should just, like, handcuff their hands behind their backs, put their head into some sort of a fucking tent that has all the flies in it, cut out their vocal cords so they can't yell for help, and wait till the flies digest their face to death. Because that's what they did to those dogs. Sounds like some stuff that happened in a country in the 40s. Oh, wait, Project Paperclip, says Daniel. It's funny how much of that Nazi ideology made it over here because we just wanted to be better than the Russians. Like Werner von Braun. Yeah, dude, that seriously is pretty upsetting. I don't know what to even fucking make of that. But the most upsetting thing to me is like policies and things that Fauci has done have killed a shit ton of people. And everyone's fine with that, but you fuck with a couple of dogs and it's like, okay, now you're out. You know? Like that's kind of fucked up too. Although it makes perfect sense, right? Like we want to get Fauci out of there so that he can't be blamed for a bunch of things. Let's get him out of the public eye. Let's find some other scandal for him to be excised for so that there's no actual investigation into the thing that he should be excised for. Yeah, dude, seriously. Yeah, that's all fucked up. I don't know what to say about it. You guys need to spend more time on BitChute. I know that. And things that are not Google-controlled, censored speech. Things that we can't even say on here. Like, this is one of the last bastions, and there's plenty of them like me, but they're going to be less and less of us on here. And it's going to get to the point where if you want to hear what's actually going on in the world, you're going to have to get off of things like YouTube, in my opinion. The fuck? My dog, he looked just like Hooch. He got hella boners all the time. Worry, LOL. I don't know what that is. Whatever.
Jelly bean, put down the beer.
Benjamin had a good question in the chat about guns.
Why do you only say half the thing?
You beat me to it, goddammit.
He said, anybody have any advice for him to convince his girlfriend to shoot 9mm or 380? She only wants to shoot 22 and 5.56.
Get the biggest, heaviest gun you have at 9mm, and let her shoot that. Yeah, or 380.
You beat me to it, goddammit.
Oh no, not the Streamception again. No.
No. Streamception.
No.
My sister had a similar issue. Like she was scared to shoot anything over a 9mm, but that was because they were trying to hand her like a Glock 43. And yet she wouldn't shoot a 1911. And I'm like, this would recoil less. Like it'd be less painful. She just wouldn't believe me though. So
recoil is fun. Builds character.
Yeah. Recoil is fun. Snappiness is not though.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather ride out like a Desert Eagle than I would like a little teeny tiny 380.
So this guy asked, do Colorado Democrats support Biden's failures? If only the media would ask him. And I said, no, that would require self-reflection. and a belief that he failed at anything. They should change their animal from the donkey to an ostrich. All they do is peck you to death and then put their head in the sand. It's true. I'm going to start doing this on your chats, Matt.
Okay.
So you'll have a chat, and I'll just sit here, and I won't say anything.
I was going to say, speaking of getting pecked to death, Ohio finally passed a constitutional carry the other day out of committee. 2 Democrats during the
Yay for
process
Ohio.
tried to slip red flags and universal background checks into it.
Do
and they
Colorado
were like,
Democrats
Uh-oh.
support?
nope, fuck you guys. Get out of here with that. They passed it through. Of course, it was a little bit watered down from what it should be because Ohio should have been the first state to have a concealed weapons license, which would have allowed us to carry anything at that point. But they basically took that out of it now.
Ooh, that's nice.
I like that. Somebody did a good job with that one.
That's cool looking.
Ooh.
Wait, so is that final or?
I do love that meme.
Fuck you, Chris Wallace. Why is he so happy? He's a fucking prick. Fuck you.
God, somebody needs to take that photo and do like, you know, the like burning red eyes, give him like devil horns.
So is that final in Ohio or it's still got to go through more steps?
No, right now it's going to go to a House floor vote as the
Okay.
next step. And we can basically put other stuff. We could actually do that back into it if they wanted to as an amendment on the House floor then.
I think Roy Munson's right. He says, are they intentionally being unresponsive to fuck with you? Yes.
Yes.
See? Still doesn't say anything. Call him out directly.
Look, I'm
I
just
said
looking
yes.
at knives.
1 out of 5.
So Jolly's on Bud K.
No. I'm looking at good knives.
Coat of Athena?
Occasionally.
So if somebody said, Jolly, that you can have $10 million right now, tax-free, ready to go, do whatever you want with it,
Whatever I want. Okay.
but you can only ever buy knives from Bud K ever again.
Nope.
No?
Wait. Do I get to keep the current knives I own?
Yes.
Okay, I will be fine. I can take that deal.
They've got some good knives on Bud K.
Yeah, they got good knives in there.
And-
Decent knives.
And you can only ever use ProTech lights and lasers on all your guns.
Oh,
no.
Just fight in the light, Jolly. Never fight in the dark.
God. Well, here's the thing. I would just use that $10 million to buy night vision. I just buy like some pano,
There you go.
real good night vision.
Like, why would you buy something like this? This is like
You can't-
completely useless.
Because it's decorative.
Plus, you get this picture. She's got a hell of a camel tail. Look at that thing hanging down.
That's a penis.
Jeez.
Dude, who's eating Skittles?
Oh, you can hear that?
You can hear every fucking syllable of it.
Oh, God damn it.
Wait a minute. They sell bedding on Bud K?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, and the first thing I see is a Confederate flag blanket. That's interesting.
It's peanut M&M's, by the way.
Sounded like it.
No, I
Sounds
want
just like
peanut
Skittles.
M&Ms. Dang.
This is what you need for Halloween every year. That's kind of scary. Although, why is there Japanese writing on it? That makes no sense.
Because it's a Japanese Grim Reaper.
Tall Okami Kakushi replica anime scythe.
Yeah, they have fucking.
Honda says
Angel
Japanese
Death
don't
in
believe in
Japan.
the
That's
Grim
probably
Reaper.
from like some
So-
anime.
Probably.
DIY electric guitar? What
Can't
the
go
fuck?
wrong.
Yeah, they got those.
Yeah, but
I've
then
been wanting to build one myself.
Honda's got to build it. It's never gonna work right.
You're gonna drill speed holes in it.
Yeah, man. Look, it's already got speed holes. Look.
But it's kind of the Fender style. I kind of like the Gibson style.
I kind of want to get a guitar just to like. I'm not good at the guitar, but I like fucking around with one. You know.
That's what I do with mine. Is I fuck around with it. I learned a couple of licks. Great for parties, you know.
Ooh, Polish gas masks. $29. A filter's a filter, right? Like
Only
the filters
done a bunch
don't
of the
fucking make a
Polish.
difference.
No, they totally make a difference.
Well, there's different
Right,
size
they're all
filters and stuff.
NBC.
Like you can't.
They're all the N.
No. There's a whole system to what the filters do and what they're rated for. Also, you got to make sure that's a 40 millimeter. That's NATO standard.
You can get adapters for them if you get.
You can.
You get to
Yeah.
40 to 60.
Now that I think about it, most of my knives are from Bud K.
I mean, we probably saw a Bud K knife in use earlier, so.
Yeah, we did. It was
That is true. That is very true.
a couple of Bud K knives in that video.
That should just be Bud K's like advertising.
How many
You need a knife to defend yourself.
I mean, Bud K does sell K bars, but it's a little bit more expensive than when you find on Amazon.
Yeah.
.68 caliber black rubber ball ammo. Defense rubber.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a
Bud K
minute.
does sell ammo now too, though.
They sell rubber bullets for black powder guns.
Well, yeah, because when you have your black powder shotgun, you need like riot rounds or something, you know.
Jeez.
Raw Feedings here dropped in $2. Says, "Howdy, homies. What's crack-a-lackin'? We're just looking at Bud K because no one likes to laugh at my jokes or add anything to the conversation when I say things or do anything at all. Fuck you."
We're participating now, aren't we?
Yeah, now.
Look, it's cold outside. I'm sleepy.
Jolly,
It is
it's
like-
cold outside.
It is like midnight Jolly's time almost, so.
How's that song go, Jelly? About the rape on Christmas?
I don't know. Yeah,
I'd
I know
rather
a bunch
not
of women get mad about it.
You got to sing the girl part.
I really must go.
But it's cold outside.
My grandma fell down the stairs.
But it's cold outside.
I thought you were
What are
talking
you-
about the song where Night Strike slipped down the chimney.
What are you doing with that tape?
Shut your mouth, you stupid bitch.
I'm gonna pull out my taser.
Not if I have one first.
I wish I knew how
But I'll stick it in you.
to call the cops.
Oh, you can get a needle. Needle's cool.
You know it was a cool sword.
Needle is cool.
Women couldn't call the cops back in those days. It was illegal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's called the rule of thumb. Look at the size they used. They should have called it the rule of wrist. Dude, I feel like this is the get arrested for crazy shit fucking pack. that you can buy altogether. You got handcuffs, a baton, steel, brass knuckles, and a fucking flashlight.
I feel like
All
you
you're
buy
missing is
this.
like duct tape and a crowbar.
That's the setup that you have when you get hired as like a parking lot security guard, but they only pay you like minimum wage, and you're like, well, I gotta go kit it out. Like, this is the kit you get.
I feel like
I've
this is
never
what
seen a parking lot security guard with brass knuckles.
The whole kit for
Hey,
$65.
look,
That's called quality right there.
That's
Well,
value.
let's be honest; those aren't brass knuckles. Those are,
Metal,
hot metal knuckles.
hot metal knuckles.
Right.
Like,
that used to be, one of those like copper top, induction pans.
Aluminum knuckles.
Not even aluminum.
it's like the
Tin.
Zamic or whatever.
Zinc. It was all zinc alloy knuckles.
So Daniel says those rubber bullets are for intense reenacting.
Spicy reenacting.
It's
It's
the
what you're
Quill of
supposed to
rebellion
load
in-
in your black powder revolver when you're on movie set. But
any protest that goes on in M. Night Shyamalan's village.
Raw Feeding says, took the wife shooting tonight, then got barbecue ribs and brisket. It's been a good day. Tater.
But did you bang? But did you bang after that?
I don't know why the tater's in there.
I mean, he had ribs. I mean, it's a good way. It's a good day either way. You don't really need that
Yeah.
after you have ribs.
and brisket.
Yeah.
Would you rather have ribs or brisket?
Beef ribs or pork ribs.
It's usually pork ribs, right?
Yeah, usually I like pork ribs. I take ribs over brisket.
Beef
I
ribs are good if they're
I don't think
done
I
right,
even.
but they're such a pain in the ass to do right. 'cause
Yeah.
there's such a huge layer of like gristle on them that you got to cook off or whatever.
I don't think I really ate a true brisket.
And there's
I'm
also way
going-
less fat.
I'm going brisket if I can also get burnt ends.
That's a good point.
Did they carry these into World War II?
I don't
No.
think so.
But
Especially
it
with that
says
weird
U.S.
cutout.
1942 double-edged combat sword.
So I'm pretty sure we would have heard like of a Marine getting into a sword fight with like a Japanese Imperial officer.
Yeah, probably. Because
But
they
it's
will.
on Bud K.
They just dual wield these and just like go at each other.
Yeah.
That's the one you find on
from his
Call
back.
of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like freaking Ronin Tactics.
Oh god damn it.
And it costs less than a smaller K-bar. I'm pretty sure that's full tang right there. Great
Yeah,
quality.
There you
This
go.
is what you need for the zombies.
A spear with a compass.
Spear. I don't know about the compass.
Well, I mean, you gotta know which way you're going when you're
Yeah.
walking with your spear.
It's true.
And
You
know
use
that
the
thing's made out
sun
of aluminum, so it won't
like a
mess
real
up
man.
your compass.
Oh, this is cool. A tactical stocking that you can stuff for Christmas.
My ex
one
got
of
me.
those.
Yeah, I got one too. My ex gave me that back in 2016 for Christmas. She got me a tactical stocking.
That's great, dude. That's awesome. Too bad it's $50, but
Damn. The one I had wasn't that much. Of course, I
Yeah,
bought mine
I-
several years ago, so.
Yeah, I doubt she spent that much, but
in
yeah,
the
it's
before
been-
I've
times.
Been
never
like
even
5
played
years,
Zelda,
though.
but I kind of want the Master Sword.
You've never played.
I wasn't allowed.
Well, it's filled. I think it comes with a bunch of other stuff. That's why it's $50. I think that's what it says.
Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense then.
It's stuffed
Just
with
filled-
paint already. It comes
It's just-
pre-stuffed. With
It's just
Yeah.
filled with random Bud K shit, like the baton and brass
Nice.
knuckles.
Pat
Just
Wright
like Merry
says,
Christmas.
Ninja stars.
those rubber rounds are for paintball guns. Really?
Huh.
Oh,
I think that's what they use a lot in South Africa because they can't have real guns over there.
South Africa.
Raw Feeding says, "Oh, dessert is on its way, gentlemen. Don't worry." Just remember,
Good job.
lick it before you stick it in your mouth. Because we're talking about dessert, obviously, and nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
Use chocolate syrup.
Huh.
Is this gas mask okay, Jolly? Is this one good?
What is it? I've never heard of that brand.
Wilson gas mask with filter, military surplus, like new, panoramic full face mask, vocal membrane.
That
Those look more like
looks like firefighter gas masks.
yeah, it does. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's
I just don't know that
Yeah.
brand, so I couldn't tell you. The best deal is still the Israeli ones.
Is it Antifa approved?
I mean, I think it makes sense that the Israelis would know how to manufacture a gas mask.
Yeah, like if anybody's gonna be good at it,
Just
like
saying.
Dude, I bought something like
Yeah.
this to hide
They
a
kind
gun
of
on the
have
wall.
motivation.
Had to stutter my way through that. I don't know why.
I've thought about it, but like a lot of them I've seen, they have to have the little like magnet key,
yeah,
which almost everyone has sitting next to it. So I'm like, that defeats the purpose of showing it's a hidden compartment. You know?
yeah. I'd almost
I guess
much
you could
rather just
disable the
like,
magnet and just have it.
yeah, and
Yeah,
just
and
have it as
be
a
a flip
thing.
down type thing.
You know those little like
Yeah.
just like they use for cabinets, like hold them closed, the little like plastic, almost use.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have it, and you kind of yank it down. I feel like that'd be smarter.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
not
it would
doing.
make it more hidden instead of having the unlock magnet sitting
Yeah,
right
just
next
like,
to it. Like,
What's this really thick coaster next to this thing?
Yeah.
Did you
It's
see
a
that
little
Yankee
suspicious.
was shilling for Springfield today?
No, but I
I have
also
not seen it.
haven't watched the Yankee video in about 2 weeks, so
I saw he posted about the SA-35, but I
I was about to
haven't
say, is
watched
it because they're
Yeah.
like releasing a high power now?
Yeah.
Yep. He said if they come out with a stainless one, that he will buy one from them and forgive them. What the fuck?
Okay, I mean, he's allowed to have his own opinions.
Yeah.
Nylon shoulder sheath. Wait a sec.
This doesn't seem quite right.
Nylon shoulder sheath.
What? Like over
Oh, but
the
it's not
shoulder?
an actual. But it's not an actual firing revolver, though.
Gunblade sword with other nylon shoulder sheath antique finish.
See, I'd be more impressed if it actually was a like real firing black powder revolver with the sword built in.
Yeah.
$35. It's made out of high quality steel.
I doubt that.
That's engraved also.
That was engraved by a child with like a screwdriver and a hammer. They just went ting 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 ting.
That was engraved with some chemicals.
That is some shitty looking fucking engraving. Look at that.
Holy
That's not even
crap.
engraved. That's the mold they put it in.
Yeah, that's cast
Yeah.
engraving.
Oh, and Bud Case shipping fees are also horrible. So
Yeah, that's where they make all
You
the
gotta
money
check.
back.
right.
$70 shipping.
I feel like the
God.
bullet would hit the tip of the sword.
Yeah,
It
it
would,
would
that's
because
why
it's
it
curved
fired.
up.
Though you know how great it would be is like you stab somebody with that thing and then you shot it with like a 68 caliber round ball.
And the spines on their blades are so thin. As soon as you hit something with it, it's just gonna
Snap.
snap, fly in all different directions.
Yeah, well, they're one-hit wonders.
Would this stop a bullet?
Um.
Ballistic nylon?
Maybe a
It-
handgun round, maybe.
And that's only if it didn't get like a direct head on
Yeah,
impact.
it's like it has to be like a
yeah,
slant
or
thing.
you were far away.
Yeah.
Modern ones are 3A rated, but
Yeah.
those are designed for like a grenade went off over your head and it stopped the shrapnel. It's not made to stop bullets. Though there are stories of people taking like full-on AK rounds to the head from, and living.
Oh, and modern helmets, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not rated for it. It's just, bullets do wacky things. It's also usually, people taking pop shots from like 500 yards away, so it loses a lot of velocity.
I kind of like these little mare's legs. They're kind of cool.
Although, I do find mare's legs neat.
Could you shoulder that thing?
No, they're so short that technically you could, but your hands, your hand's going to be like up by your shoulder. Yeah. Bad.
imagine if someone took I guess you would call it buttstock of it and like drilled a piece for a Picatinny and put like a SIG folding brace on it.
No, Jolly. Jolly, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes, Jolly, yes.
YouTube, no. These are not real guns that we're showing prices of.
Well,
these are replicas.
$80 is for the holster, not
it's a holster.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Bud Case sells ammo. Only $16 for a box of 2223 fucking Tula.
Less than $1 a round.
Pat Riot dropped in $20. Damn, man, thank you. Said, do you guys remember the tricked out Mosin I asked about a while ago? I ended up buying it. Cheap. The accuracy is fine. However, after 20 rounds, it gets really hard to extract.
It needs to be cleaned.
Yep.
That's sticky bolt. That's just normal for Mosins. The chamber needs to be cleaned out really, really good. The bolt needs to be cleaned really, really good. I would let that shit like soak in solvent overnight. Because what happens is all that cosmoline has been built up there for decades and decades and decades has actually started to seep into the pores of the metal and into the wood and into everything.
As you fire it heats up and it comes out and it just catches everything. So
yeah, it just needs to be cleaned.
There's an easier solution. You just keep your trusty Mosin hammer. So then you just use your little hammer to open the bolt.
The next super chat goes to Honda's Bud K Fund. He has to buy some off the website.
Who was it? Was it Duke that had never heard of Bud K before?
Yeah. Never heard of Bud K.
I wonder if this thing's any good. Ghost
Viper Tactical Tango 1. $60.
I guarantee that's rock solid piece of equipment right there.
I mean,
that's just a repainted UTG.
Why would you ever buy like an aim point or even a Hollow Sun?
Dude, look at the dot. It holds 0, bro.
Yeah, that's totally not painted on.
I don't know what you want.
What is that mount? That mount is concerning.
It's lightweight. It's got speed holes, bro.
It's on a riser.
Yeah, what is the riser? Jeez.
It's so you got proper bore oversight, bro.
Bore oversight?
Whatever, bro. What the fuck is this thing? What are you up to, Smith & Wesson?
That's a knife for people with really small, stubby, like hands and arms.
It's a money clip pocket knife, stainless steel blade, G10 steel, blah, 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 blah. $20.
Well, for us who lives in Chicago, that's what we can carry concealed. So
you can have a 1-inch stubby blade.
Yes.
This is gonna take me forever.
If it's longer than that, then we have to open carry it.
It's perfectly fine though for opening boxes and beer bottles. It looks like.
Which is honestly 99% of what anyone uses a knife for. Well, the boxes part. I don't know how many people use a.
I used to have a knife with I still do someplace with like a beer bottle opener on it, and I've used it a couple times, but.
Trailblazer, the Life Straw, but cheaper. Actually, Life Straws are only like $10. This is like Life Straw, but generic and more expensive. Baby, it's cold outside. Oh, Daniel dropped in $1. That's how much I can spend on Bud K, apparently.
You can get a couple knives for that.
Let's find out knives.
Add on to the mystery box.
And we're going to go... How do you sort by price?
That's what I was going to say. Doesn't Bud K have a mystery box area?
Yeah.
We should all just get a mystery box and see what each one of us gets.
Here you go. Here's the cheapest knife on Bud K.
The knockoff Mora.
I actually have that knife. I actually got like 3 of those right now.
Aren't they more expensive than a Mora? I know, they're about the same.
Get this. This is for it. But it even says Bud K on it. So you know it's quality.
Quality stuff right
I think mine says Bushmaster or something on it.
Tactical.
Oh, I do have.
Oh, good.
I got 2 of them. No, it's not.
Jesus Christ. What the shit? Could you load this into a shotgun?
Here it is right here.
No, probably not, because the way that it would lock together.
No, let's make him big.
Here's the knife right here. Yep, I have that knife. Mine says Wahoo Killer on the blade.
Raw Feeding says, went to my uncle's new gun shop. That's pretty cool. And got to see about 60 disassembled old school HKs in wooden crates. Looked like Raiders of the Lost Ark back there. That's fucking cool. I didn't know your uncle was a gun store owner. Do you buy guns from your uncle? I bet you do. Why wouldn't you? See, this thing's just a fucking letter opener. Like, these knives are never, ever sharp from the factory. You get them, it's like, it cuts paper if you, like, press it hard enough. You know what I mean? Here's your Winterfell knife for $9.98.
Jesus.
All right, I'm done looking at Bud K.
No.
For now. I still like this thing.
That is cool.
Eduardo Espinoza says, wow, I thought he was black. I think he's talking about you, Leia.
No, I'll just pretend to be black.
I thought you were what's the term? Oreo?
Something like that.
You're a mix. You're both.
Yep.
Or you're just pulling a Michael Jackson, according to Mark Malone.
I'm pulling a Sean King.
Sean King.
I'm gonna change my name to Talcum Red.
Dude, was the Buffalo Horn guy an FBI agent?
No,
I don't know,
idea.
but he sure did roll over really fucking quick. He was one of those ones that, like, as soon as he realized he was getting in serious trouble for this shit, he just all of a sudden like, oh, I'll say anything you want me to say. Just go ahead. Like, yeah, several of them have done that.
There you go, Jolly. Ah!
What? It's just a butt cheek.
Yeah, but I don't know where it goes from there.
What the fuck?
It's a slow guy takes slow-mo video of passing birds from a train.
I'm quite sure a penis is about to fall out at that point.
That's crazy. Wow.
Wow.
You got some microphone issues going on there.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
There's Trump doing the fucking tomahawk chop. That's great. I still like Trump. I don't care what anyone says. Fuck you if you disagree. You can disagree, but that doesn't change my mind.
I don't know. After the bump stock ban, I don't know. It was whatever for me.
An AP reporter apparently tried to hijack a plane because the pilot was rooting for Brandon. What?
Yeah, I heard something about this.
The Associated Press, that's AP, right? AP is
Yeah.
Associated Press. I was asking them to open the locked cockpit, and it probably sounded insane. What? The airline did respond. Southwest team takes pride in providing welcome, blah, 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 blah. Portion of the U.S. was already here. As for the real Brandon, he drives a short-staffed, underfunded team owned by his dad. What the fuck? Oh, they're talking about the actual Brandon. You're just a fucking crazy bitch, Colleen Long. This bitch. All right. AP reporters are trying to hijack planes because they're rooting for Brandon. Welcome to 2021. Dude, this year's been kind of fucked up, don't you guys think? Are we going to look back and be like,
yes, even
I miss 2021 because it was only a little fucked up? Or is it going to be, we're going to look back and be like, Jesus Christ, how fucked up was that year?
Oh, God. I don't know. I want to believe we'll look back and go, oh, man, that year sucked. But I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
I keep hoping we can look back on this and be like, man, Honda really went off the rails for like a year there, didn't he? He thought some crazy shit was going to happen. Good thing he was wrong.
Oh man, it's kind of hard to predict at this point. For some reason, I feel it's gonna get even worse.
I'd say give it to midterm elections and we'll see what kind of crazy shit actually happens here.
So I've heard that, okay, first of all, let's start here. More than a third of white students lied about their race on college applications, and about half of those applicants lied for being Native American. more than 3/4 of the students who lied about their race were accepted. Is this true? Because I've heard rumblings about this statement being like completely false.
That sounds like it can't be true. A third?
And more than 3/4 of the students who lied, don't they usually like check on that shit? Isn't there documentation to say like, yeah, I'm part of the Chickasaw tribe or whatever, you know?
Well, to get any of the benefits, yes.
Right, but I mean, how much of a particular race do you have to have inside of you to be considered like if you were like 1/64th Native American, does that count?
I think it depends. Also, they're saying more than a third of white students lied about their race on the college applications. By that, do they just mean, okay, he said he's mixed race because he's, a fifth black, like his grandmother was black?
I mean, we have the one drop rule up here in America, so if you got a drop of something else in you, you can basically claim that.
Yeah. 10/24th, isn't that what Elizabeth Warren is?
If that.
Let's find out. What percent is, let's type. Oh, factcheck.org. That's what I clicked on. God damn it. 2 weeks ago, Senator Elizabeth Warren was. Yeah, you're never going to give the answer, are you? Look at all that. For like, you could just say the percentage. There we go. Thank you, fact check. Fuck. And 49%, blah, 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 blah. Dude, where's the percentage? God damn it.
They ain't trying to give you shit.
Cherokee Nation Security is issuing the following statement Monday in response to Elizabeth Warren's DNA test, claiming her native heritage is determined that tribal citizenship DNA tests do not have even distinguished whether a person's ancestry were indigenous to North or South America. Cherokee Nation Security of State, Chuck, whoever sovereign tribal nations set their own legal requirements for citizenship. And while DNA tests can be used to determine lineage, such as parental to an individual, it is not evidence for tribal affiliation. Using a DNA test to lay claim to any connection to Cherokee Nation or any tribal nation, even vaguely, is inappropriate and wrong. It makes a mockery out of DNA tests and legitimate uses, while also dishonoring legitimate tribal government and their citizens, whose ancestors were well documented and whose heritage is proven. Senator Warren is undermining tribal interest with her continued claims of tribal heritage. Yeah, fuck that bitch. They're all fake, dude. Like, how many real people are there in the fucking government right now that aren't lying and aren't like being dumb and aren't doing things to enrich themselves and actually trying to help the people? How many? Like 10?
A handful. Well, it depends on what government we're talking about. We're talking about federal government or state government? Because there's a difference. A handful, probably around like 8 or 9, maybe 10 at most.
You've even got senators talking about natural immunity. Democratic senators. Dude, is this madness going to stop before it's too late?
Probably not.
Have to see how far they can take it.
think they're taking it all the way home, man. But they're gonna get there and fucking realize they ran too far. Oh, that's Brandon from what's the name of that show? Fucking God damn it, I can't remember the name of the show.
Reno 911.
Jesus, Matt. That was a double text message.
It's like a double dildo surprise.
It's exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys doing anything for Halloween?
Working.
Probably watching some scary movies outside that now.
Kids are going trick-or-treating and partying over at their cousin's house. So,
oh, hold on one sec. I gotta talk to my kid. Cover for me, boys.
no, you're not allowed to talk to your children on the show. That can't happen. That's just rude to the audience. Why would he do that to you? I feel like he owes you an apology. Right? I don't know. I can't even see the chat right now. Bought a dagger from Bud K. Opened the box. Knife was in 3 pieces for the purchase. Kept the handle for another knife.
Yeah. I was just going to read that. I was just going to read it.
That's probably not. Yeah, that I imagine that happens more often than Bud K.
Yeah.
What knife was it? That's what I want to know.
Pay him good fiat dollars to not to do that. Fiat, I gotta have them fiat dollars. That was from Daniel and Dwayne, by the way.
Ha! My son has a job now. Isn't that awesome?
Very cool. Is it like a legal job, or is it like something that involves a truck stop? Like, what are we talking here?
He's a busser, dickhead.
I'm just asking. I mean, trying to get a feel for what path he's going down.
It's a good first job.
Oh, it really is. Daniel says, with our competent leadership, everything will be fine.
This is
Nothing
true.
can go wrong.
This is true.
It's like Kevin Bacon in the end of Animal House. All is well.
Just like when I see our mayor takes the podium, I feel safe.
You get that like warm, reassuring feeling inside.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's your mayor? Lightfoot?
Yeah.
Dude, she looks like there's something wrong with her. She looks like she's sick or something. Like, no joke there. Like, she actually looks like physically ill.
So, I've been watching Always Sunny, and for whatever reason, it just pops in my head like, Lightfoot, fighter of the dog foot.
Oh! Champion of the sun. Oh! I love It's Always Sunny, dude. That show is so great.
I probably only seen about 2 or 3 episodes. Couldn't get into it.
The first season's a little slow, but it picks up after that.
I don't know. They're like one of the very first episodes is fucking hilarious. I don't know if it's the like first pilot episode or like the second one where they had like the black guy. I forget the whole thing. It was fucking great.
Oh yeah, it's the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like I think they call it like the gang is racist or something like that. Yeah. There's so many good, just random episodes.
How many seasons are there?
On Hulu right now, I think there's 13 or 14. I believe overall, though, there's 15 seasons.
Okay. You can only keep 3. Which one's got to go? Friends, Seinfeld?
Friends.
Yeah, I'm going Friends.
Wait, what is it now? Friends,
I don't even have to
Seinfeld, and
look
what?
at the other 3.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and this one I forget the name
Big
of it.
Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dump Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, really?
What?
Seinfeld? You like Friends more than Seinfeld?
Dude, we've had this discussion before. I've never watched Seinfeld, so I have no attachment to it.
You've watched Friends?
Then
Yeah.
that's something you need to put on your list too. Just like Jolly.
I've tried watching a handful of episodes over the years, and it never interested me at all. Every time I would put on an episode, I would just lose interest and change it.
Okay, everybody out there in the chat, if Matt's going to watch one episode of Seinfeld, what episode do you think it should be?
Let's be clear though, the best show out of these four is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That is the best show on here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, that's the one I'll take off because I don't really know.
I like the one where George finds his high school gym teacher as a homeless man on the steps of the fucking library. And like Jerry gets tracked down by the fucking the book investigator because he had a book that he didn't return. That episode's fucking good, dude.
I think my favorite is the one where Jerry went out with the girl with the man hands.
Oh, the man hands.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite.
I like the
cracks the lobster open for him.
Yeah.
I like the Bubble Boy episode.
Bubble Boy is good too, yeah.
And I like the Marble Rye episode.
Marble Rye.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many good episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Oh, the best scene was the one with the pizza guy right in the bathroom. And he said, right, I'm going to make you a great... Yeah, he did wash his hands.
Yeah, I remember that one. And he didn't want to eat the fucking pizza, and then she didn't want to eat the apple pie, and she wouldn't say why, and he wouldn't say why.
Right. And then there's the soup Nazi.
Yep, I always like that episode.
Yeah. Matt missing out.
It just amazes me how many things you watch, Matt, and there's such a glaring hole called Seinfeld. But I guess you were too busy filling holes at that time, huh?
I know Matt's still here. Matt may have walked away. He's assigning one of his clones. He's like, all right.
Okay, what happened now? What now?
I was just saying, it's amazing how, with everything that you find time to watch, how there's such a glaring hole in the middle of it called Seinfeld. And then I said, well, I suppose you were too busy filling holes at that time.
Yeah, it was around that time, so yeah.
we wouldn't have a Jolly if Matt had paid attention to Seinfeld.
Dude, look at the Danny DeVito costume. That's so fucking great. Oh my god. Oh, I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's pretty good too. Maybe I should dress as Dayman for Halloween.
Oh my god, yes.
Dayman. Oh!
Our apocalypse loadout is we just all dress like the McPoyles.
Dude, this is great. You got Dayman and Nightman.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god. That's a shitty Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn.
That's like Wish.com Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, these guys are way better.
Was the other girl supposed to be Catwoman?
Maybe I should be Nightman.
Probably more fitting for you.
Yeah, probably Nightman would be better. Jesus.
Dress up as a cowboy. Call yourself Alec Baldwin.
Oh God.
It's worth a shot.
And just muzzle sweep everybody at the party.
Glad you got my pun. Someone, whoever that was laughing.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I missed it.
He said it was worth a shot.
Okay.
Christy says, "What gun and light set up for trick or treating with the little ones?" I would say you got to bring either something that matches with your costume. Because, like, how cool would it be to be like G.I. Joe, but you've got a real AR-15 on your back or something? But no one questions it because it's Halloween. Or just like a handgun that you can conceal or whatever, because you might actually need it on Halloween. Do you know that Halloween is the #1 day for pedestrian deaths by motor vehicle? Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it does make sense. I thought you were gonna say like for deaths or something like that. I was like, well, there's several documentary films that have explained why, but
Because of all those cars that's possessed that have been hitting people on the
Yep.
road.
all them Christines.
Yep.
Your parents used to have to look through your candy when you got home to make sure that there wasn't fucking like razor blades or something in it.
That's so they did, but I've realized over the years that was probably just an excuse they used, kind of like the whole spoiler alert for anyone Santa Claus thing. Like I think it was just my parents' way of being like, what candy do we want? Like,
Well,
Wait, what are you talking about Santa Claus before? What?
I gotta
Why?
go through my kids' candy to make sure that there's no weed treats in there every year.
What's
That's
wrong
all
with
the-
Santa Claus?
Coming out with now about it,
I don't
like,
get it.
oh, there's gonna be all these edibles now this year.
Yeah, because people think it's funny to give out edibles on Halloween.
that's the thing. How many people do people actually waste their edibles doing that?
People with money, people who don't care, people who make edibles. Yeah, there's fucking crazy people out there, dude. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And your kid's gonna get home and be like, I don't know what kind of gummy bear that was, but I feel funny, you know? That's not cool with me. And I say that as someone who like has for a long time been a advocate, and like I've been to weed rallies. Like I've done as much for marijuana rights in Colorado as I have or more for gun rights in my life.
So it's your fault that Colorado is getting all the hippies now.
It's not the hippies, it's your neighbors who moved here.
Oh, you mean family?
And Duke's neighbors from south of him, you know? Like all those people. And all the ones from like Louisiana or Dallas or wherever else in the fucking country that's a shithole that people can't smoke weed legally. They just came here. All right. We got the 12 friendliest dog breeds that make perfect pets. Number 1, Golden Retriever. I like Golden Retrievers. They're always really nice. They're not high energy. But I've never met one that was like... I shouldn't say never, but they're rarely like very personality-filled dogs. You know, they just want their treat. They want to lay down. They don't want to do anything. They got like a dumb look. Like, look how dumb this dog looks. He's just like, bam, happy. But they are cute when they're puppies.
I only like wolves.
Pugs are gross. Like, look at that thing. He's so ugly. His eyes are all googly. He got wrinkles in his face. You know, you gotta take a Q-tip if you have a pug and dip it in alcohol and go underneath all of the folds on his face periodically so he doesn't smell like poop.
Yeah, you have to do that with bulldogs too. Like my buddy has an English bulldog. You have to do the same shit. Just part of ownership.
Dude, I used to work at a breakfast place, and there was this really, really huge lady. Like, literally, she needed 2 chairs for her ass because one chair looked like a butt plug. She was so fat. And she had, like the pug has, like, little folds on his face. She had, like, jelly rolls all over her body. Not that I've seen it, but you could just tell. You know what I mean? And she would sit down, and you could smell the fucking mold bacteria poop smell coming off of her because there were folds of skin that she literally could not reach to clean underneath.
Yep.
And it was the most, like, people would get up and move to a different area of the restaurant when she sat down because the smell was so bad. We had to ask her to leave on at least one occasion that I can remember, specifically because of that smell. It was gross. I'm sure she's dead now. Ooh, border collie. Well, shit, I was like 18 at the time. I'm like 40 now. Like, she was like fucking old then. Like, who knows? I do. She's fucking gone. C'est la vie. I really like border collies. That's my favorite dog.
The thing about border collies is because they're a herding animal, you really got to have a lot of space for those dogs to run.
Yeah, you just need to. It like with my border collie, he was a shithead if you didn't take him out in the morning and exercise him, because like he would have all this energy and he'd want to chew stuff up and do stuff in the house and blah. But if you had time to take him out and throw a frisbee or a ball for 20, 30 minutes until he was tired and you bring him back in, he was the best fucking dog, dude. He was so good. Labradoodle. I never met a Labradoodle. Dalmatians are cool.
All right, what'd I miss?
We're looking at dogs.
Yeah. I need to go get some popcorn. I'm peckish.
What kind of dog did you get?
Ours is a Labrador Retriever.
Yeah, that was number 1 on the list. Or no, wait, that was a Golden Retriever. Never mind.
I think I have a Yankee Marshall.
What kind of dog does Yankee have?
Well, he is one, so.
Right now he has pit bulls, or I think they're both pits. They might be mixes, but I believe they're both primarily pits.
Pomeranian. That's like the soccer mom dog that she brings with her in her purse everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
I hate any kind of small dog.
Shit.
I hate. If you can get picked up by a eagle, you are not a dog.
That's a good picture. Look at his face. Great Danes are cool. I do like them. They're fucking huge, dude. That's like when they stand next to you, it's almost like a horse. It's like a little pony.
Right. Too bad they only live to about 8.
Like 6 years, dude. Sometimes.
Right.
That's the problem
So
with
maybe-
dogs. Is like as you get bigger, like their life expectancy goes down.
Right. Almost seems like maybe they shouldn't exist.
These dogs are kind of cute. What was the name of it was like a cartoon movie that had one like a Springer Spaniel?
Lady and the Tramp?
That's the one.
Jesus Christ.
Poodles are dumb.
Yeah, I'm not a big poodle person. Like
No.
they're fine, but I'm just like,
I also like Mastiffs and Rottweilers.
yeah. My parents have a rot.
Rottweilers are always like so slobbery though. They like just
I was
walk
about to say
around.
that they do slobber a lot, though.
Like
They-
you
they-
can't. It's just gross sometimes.
It depends on the one. Like so I've had 2 Rottweilers in my life. I have the one my parents currently have, and we had one before that passed away. The one before, like, yes, he'd drink water and just like drool all over the house and was just like slobbery as shit. My parents' one that they have now is actually really good. Like, she doesn't drool, doesn't slobber at all.
I've always been partial to pit bulls, mostly because of Turner and Hooch.
I can't stand pit bulls. I don't even find them cute.
I like boxers. Boxers are kind of cute.
Yeah.
Irish Wolfhound. The Irish Wolfhound is one of the tallest dog breeds in the world, with being at least 32 inches tall. So like 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Even some wolfhounds are equal in size to a small donkey. Jesus.
Yeah, they're large dogs.
What's going on with the White House not backing Taiwan anymore, says Gun Library Garrett.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we could look it up on Twitter, see what they say about Taiwan White House. I don't know why I did that
I
voice.
get to say it in an accent.
Adam says Golden Eagles could pick up heavy goats. Huh.
Biden
pick up
claims
goats?
U.S. would defend Taiwan. White House walks it back. China's just testing hypersonic missiles, blah, 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 blah. During this town hall on CNN Thursday night, where Biden took a selection of prepared questions from a friendly audience. One of the questions was about tension building over Taiwan. China's just testing hypersonic missiles. Yes, yes, the president answered. We are, he paused, military China, Russia, and the rest of the world, you know, man, you go, you know the thing. We have the most powerful military in the history of the world. So, don't worry about that. They're not going to have more power. They're not going to be more powerful. Is this good? Is this a good Biden?
We were talking like Biden and Obama had a fucking baby.
It's really
That's-
confusing.
You're going back and forth between Biden and Obama, and it's weird.
Well, it's really Biden's or Obama's voice talking through Biden in reality. So, but you wouldn't have to worry about whether or not they're going to engage in activities that would put them in a position where they may not make a serious mistake. And also, I have to have spoken to Xi Jinping about the leaders. I don't want a Cold War with China. China understands when I speak. Or we're not saying the United States would come to Taiwan's defensive attack. Yes, Biden affirmed. Yes, we would commit to do that, he said. After this, the White House issued a statement that, in fact, there was no U.S. policy changes that regards Taiwan. There is no change in policy, a spokeswoman from the White House said, though they did not elaborate on the Biden misspoken according to the... So they're saying that, like, yeah, he said that, but whoa, that's not in our policy. The U.S. defense relationship with Taiwan is guided by the Taiwan Relations Act. We uphold and committed under the act. We'll continue to support Taiwan's self-defense and will continue to oppose any unilateral changes to the status quo. So we're basically saying, like, yeah, you're on your own, Taiwan. We'll maybe give you a couple AR-15s if, Brandon equals Biden equals Beavis. Let's go, Beavis. Do you guys listen to Michael Malice at all?
No.
Nope.
He's the author of Dear Reader. It's a book about North Korea. He is an anarchist. He is very, very well-spoken and educated, and I like a lot of the things that he has to say. You should check out Michael Malice. Daniel says, I love how some desk workers at the White House can decide what a policy is over the president. Yeah, that's because we've got the puppet in chief up there. Prove me wrong on that one.
Did you guys hear the rumor that Biden shit his pants at the Vatican?
Is that why they cut the feed short?
Apparently.
He Nadlered himself.
No, well, I think I came across it on Twitter, but I didn't get a chance to read that.
Trump holds a glass of water with two hands. Media can't stop talking about it for months. Biden shits his pants in the Vatican. Crickets. Did he really poop his pants in the Vatican? 4 hours ago, 21 minutes ago. Yeah, everyone's saying it, dude.
That's our leader. That's our leader.
Brings a new meaning to holy shit.
Oh, jeez. Oh, hey.
Hey-o.
Oh, my dear Lord. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's fucking hilarious.
So now that we have that information, how long until they actually install Kamala?
How long is it till Biden's been in office for 2 years?
It's not even going to matter at that point because she's not even getting a full term. Like, she will be primary in 2024 no matter what.
I have a feeling this whole midterm election is going to go fucking anti-Democrat. Democrats who hold positions that they thought were solid are going to lose them. At least that's what I hope.
That's what I hope for, but at the same time, I understand that, you know, fucking unicorns and magic can align, and, you know, who knows what the machines say at the end of the day.
Well, as Stalin is known for saying, it's not about the votes, it's about who counts the votes.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yep.
Do you guys have any Shiba Inu?
No.
Apparently it's going crazy, but it's going to drop back down again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if you bought it like a month ago, you got like 10 times your money right now. Did you see Baldwin talking?
I'm not allowed to make any comments because it's an ongoing investigation. I've been ordered by the sheriff's department in Santa Fe. I can't ask any questions. I can't. It's an active investigation in terms of a woman died. She was my friend. She was my friend. The day I arrived in Santa Fe to start shooting, I took her to dinner with Joel, the director. We were a very, very, we were a very, very, well-oiled crew shooting a film together, and then this horrible...
Apparently not.
Now, I've been told multiple times, don't make any comments about the ongoing investigation, and I can't.
You met
What
with,
are the questions that you have other than that?
You met with you met with the family?
Yes,
her name is Helena. If you're spending this much time waiting for us, you should know her name. Her name is Helena.
Helena Hutchins. I met with her husband Matthew and her son. Yeah, that's right.
And how did that meeting go?
I wouldn't know how to count. They're mortified.
You guys, you know what? No details.
Do me a favor. I'm gonna answer the question.
Well, I appreciate that. He was probably very upset.
The guy is overwhelmed with grief. This is something that there are incidental accidents on film sets from time to time. But
who was her publicist or something? I mean, his publicist.
I was thinking that's his wife, but then he talks to her like a dick. But that's kind of par for the course for this fucker. But
right.
His 9-year-old son. We are in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family. And
I think that is his wife.
As I said, we're eagerly awaiting.
His wife's the one that got busted for
faking her race or whatever it was.
Yeah, she says she's Spanish and all this shit.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like raised in like fucking, I don't know, like Wisconsin or something. Like technically her family, like one of her parents or both of her parents or something is from Spain, but she was like raised here, and she's been
Oh,
claiming
know
for
what?
years.
Yeah. I remember that now.
Anyway,
What else? Would you
I mean, I do kind of feel bad for him because I know he's going through a horrible time, though.
I don't feel bad for him one bit.
Nope.
I mean, it's like not like he actually meant to do it. Hopefully,
Mm.
I mean, you
I'm not
still
saying
just
he
take a
meant- I'm
person's
not
life.
saying he meant to do it, but I don't feel bad for him one bit for all the shit that he's getting. Like, not one fucking bit for any of that. Sorry, I feel bad for
Yeah.
that woman's husband. I feel bad for that 9-year-old kid. I feel bad for anyone who cared about her or had anything to do with her. As for this demonic-looking Trump impersonator, no, I don't feel bad at all.
Something that I think is important. How many bullets have been fired? This is America. How many bullets have been fired?
Chris says, excuse me. Then he pulls out a gun and shoots his wife.
Millions? The last 75 years. And nearly all of them without incident. So what has to happen is we have to realize that when it does go, this horrible catastrophic thing, some new measures are taken, rubber guns, plastic guns, no live, no real weapons. That's not for me to decide. It's urgent. It's urgent that you understand. I'm not an expert in this field. So whatever other people decide is the best way to do it. I'm all in favor of I would cooperate with them in any way that I can.
So the projects in the works now, or is it-
No, yeah, that's irrelevant.
you think that
That's a person. That's a person. Anything else? So just do me a favor, you know what? My kids are in the car.
Because you guys are following
You know what I'm
them
going
and
to
they
do? As
know.
a courtesy to you, I came to talk to you. I'm not allowed to comment on the investigation. I talk to the cops every day.
Yeah, there you go. He doesn't seem very remorseful. He seems very defensive to me.
Yeah, he's just trying to cover his own ass because he doesn't get charged with something at some point.
Well, I mean, again, Jesus Christ. I don't know who's to blame. I don't know all the facts of the case. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that needs to be investigated. That needs to be shown in court. The court needs to decide ultimately
shit.
who's responsible and who's fucking what or whatever, right? However, do I feel bad that he's getting the shit that he's getting right now, that he's under pressure? Dude, like, how would you feel if you accidentally shot someone and killed them? You know what I mean? Like, yes, you should feel like shit. Yes, you are an asshole. I don't care what the fucking circumstances are. Like, you should feel bad, even if it wasn't your fault. Even if someone handed you a gun and were like, this is completely safe, and you thought you checked it or something, you know? Like, you did what you thought, and you still shot someone anyway. Like, I'm not saying, like, you should go to jail for that, but I'm saying, should you feel guilty? Should you feel remorse? Yes. The fact that he's not showing that tells me everything I need to know about it. Like, fuck that guy, dude. Like, I don't care if the media makes him run through a cornfield backwards with no pants on. Like, I'm going to stand there with a bag of popcorn and watch. Thanks for coming out. He won't get charged, says Malone. I bet you're probably right. And in the end, that, like, this is the punishment that he has then. You know what I mean? The social ostracization. How do you say that word? Ostracized.
Ostracized.
Well, no, there's a different conjugation of that word that's ostracization, but I can't say it right. Anyway. Well, shit.
I was going to say, for me personally, if I was in the shoes of the DA right now, I would charge everybody involved in that line. Him, the armor chick, the AD, All of them.
Yeah, one look at that armor chick. I'm like, yeah, that's who y'all trust.
Well, there was an
I'm
article
like,
that came out a couple, like probably like 3-4 days ago that they were talking about, and it was another guy that they were going to try to hire for that position who had a lot more experience. And when he found out they were basically combining an armorer job and a prop master job together, he's like, "No, this needs to be 2 positions. I'm not taking this job."
mm.
And then they hired her ass for it.
Elderly woman in Belgium called racist, thrown off bus with head injury. What? After suspected fighting with Moroccans? Jesus Christ, I can't even listen to that. It makes me want to like punch somebody just listening to those motherfuckers. Like, they're obviously taunting her and getting in her face, and like, just fucking leave her alone, man. I guess I don't know what's going on. So people were asking about gun rallies the other day on a chat that I was on. I'm like, oh, what's the future of gun rallies? Because we're gun people and we care about guns. We need to have more gun rallies because gun rallies are good for the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment community needs to get together and have more gun rallies. And I'm thinking, like, no, that's not the answer. That is not the fucking answer. That is not even close to the answer. The answer is anti-mandate rallies that we can sneak some Second Amendment imagery and stuff into with holding signs and whatever. And it will be way more effective, and it will look like we have way more support if we're walking shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people who are anti-mandate, because there's going to be fucking marches like this going forward in this country across the fucking nation with "Don't Tread on Me" flags and things like that.
What do they want the gun rallies for? I mean, like, want to have more gun rallies for what?
Because of all the anti-gun legislation and bullshit that's happening right now, the red flag laws they're trying to pass nationally, blah, 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 you name it, dude. They're coming for us on every fucking level. And the point is that while guns are very important and need to be defended, you're not going to get the support for that you would, especially in like 2012, when all that shit was going on. There was tons of support. Well, now the major issue for a lot of people isn't their gun rights, it's their right to have a job and be able to go to the store. And that affects people a lot more directly in a lot more significant ways on a daily basis than anything having to do with guns. Period. Fucking period. You can't argue against that because you're wrong.
Right, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, I know there's like all these like anti-gun laws they trying to pass, but they've always been trying to do that. So I'm trying to figure out like what kind of gun rallies they talking about here. I mean, I don't know.
I could see having one if you were trying to force a state legislator specifically to pass pro-gun legislation that they've been sitting on for months on end, but that would be about it.
The massive, giant rallies that are going to happen in this country are not going to be about gun rights.
Right. At least not now.
The world-changing events that are going to be happening in this country are not going to be centered around gun rights. It might involve them, which is why I'm saying, like, show up with your 2A sign. But as for like an open carry gun rally in the middle of a major metropolitan city in 2021 with the climate of what's going on in the world today, you think in any way that is possibly going to be construed as positive by the media, by the mainstream corporate media in this country, you are smoking fucking crack, my friend. Good luck to you. Well, that's my 2 cents on that subject.
Right.
Jump straight to crack.
Well, I mean,
it's because Leo's here, isn't it? You're just being racist.
Sorry, meth. Meth, white people, meth. I'm sorry.
I'm white today, so
okay.
Go ahead with the
Apparently.
I would say for rallies, though, it should be more constitutionalist based anyway at this point. Pro free speech, all that kind of stuff.
It's funny how this fucking cop just starts choking this. Have you seen this video? This is an Australian.
Oh, yeah, the Australian, yeah.
And he's just like, you're not complying. And then just grabs her by the fucking throat and pushes her up against a brick wall. And she's like, I can't breathe. Right? And like people are like, "Hey, mate, that's not right. You're doing that. The dingoes are around and they don't like that. You're upsetting them." It's like, like, what are they putting in the water in Australia that are making these people so fucking passive? But then on the other hand, you look at these fucking videos of these massive protests, but that's only as a response to this fucking draconian bullshit that's going on. Like, they're so far down. They're multiple steps further than we are in this globalist plan to take over the world.
Yeah, what happened to the old school Australians? What happened?
Well, the real Crocodile Dundee died in a gun confiscation raid.
Yes, I remember that. Right, the real one. Wow.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I'm about out of stuff to talk about. You guys got anything else before we call it a nizite?
Nope. Nope, guess not.
Nah.
0 for 3. Matt? No? All right, 0 for 4. Oh, we got a super chat before we go. Haven't you heard of you can't call crackhead anymore? That's not how they identify as people of the rock. Now, they now identify as people of the rock.
To the rock.
Well, you know, they got to make a stand or lean, you know.
That was pretty good. That's a good way to end it. All right, guys. Well, we will be back tomorrow night for the Gay Frog, for a very spooky Gay Frog chat. Maybe we'll talk about ghosts tomorrow. That sounds like fun. We'll do ghost stories on the Gay Frog chat tomorrow night. And other than that, I hope you guys had fun. We'll tune in next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff, because I'm never going to grow if you don't. So that would be helpful. I appreciate it. And thanks again to everybody out there who did Super Chats tonight. That's also very cool. And, you know, like it or not, like a little bit of money is motivation to keep doing stuff like this. So I appreciate you guys. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out, Girl Scout. Don't
Penis.
get caught.
Penis.
I'm telling your mom. I'm telling your mom what you did. Your mom's going to find out.